Okay, for DIY number one, we will be using this particular cracked glass solar light. Remove this piece because that's all we'll need. Now with these, they open like this, and this is how you charge it. So I'm just going to put this aside. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a lamp, and I'm going to use this bottle that I found at Goodwill. Isn't it cute? I've had this bottle for quite some time now, and I always knew I wanted to do a lamp. Okay, so the very first thing I want to do is hot glue this right on top. Okay, next up I have some of this metal ribbon from Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to take this outside and spray paint it black. And while that's drying, I'm going to move on to the next step with the lamp. While the paint is drying on the metal ribbon, I'm going to take one of these bowls from Dollar Tree. And what I want to do is just cut the circle out with my hot knife. Okay, so I made a hole right in the center, but I need for it to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go in and make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to glue this right on top of here. So now I'm going to take some glue and put it right inside the circle. Okay, so now you have a cute lamp with a crystal lampshade. You can add some bling around here, even around the top, it's up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and get the metal ribbon and come in and accent it with that, and then we'll be done. So I decided, because of the glue, I really didn't want to add trim around it. I didn't want to draw too much attention to that, but that glue was still kind of throwing me off, so I decided to go ahead and add some gems to it. And I'm going to use some of these teardrop gems to accent the top. Now honestly, I would do these in black if I had black rhinestones because of the black trim, but silver and black goes together, so it's going to work out. Okay, for my next DIY, I have this solar light. It's really decorative, and I really like that about it. Okay, this is going to be super simple. Again, we're going to remove it from the stake. Next up, we have one of these bowls from Dollar Tree. They come 4 to a pack. I'm going to take my hot knife. And now I have an idea where I need to make my hole. So I'm just going to go right in here, again, just like I did with the other bowl, and make a hole. Next up, I have this candle holder that I picked up at Goodwill, and it was only $1.39. You can also use the ones from Dollar Tree. If you don't want it to be clear, you can spray paint it black. Go ahead and take that off. Again, super simple. Take my hot glue gun, get this right around the rim. to take this right inside there. Hold it there until the hot glue sets up. And just like that, you have a beautiful tulip. Isn't that cute? Now, if you want to glam this up, you can put some stones around here. You could also put some bling around here and here as well. Okay guys, for our next DIY, we are going to be using this particular solar light. Actually, you will need two for this particular DIY. I have two. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is remove the stakes from these as well, and then remove the labels. After removing the labels, there's a sticky residue. So what I'm going to do is use some alcohol to remove that residue. I'm done removing the residue. So what I want to do now is take one of these Dollar Tree napkin rings. And I know it's been a while since you all have seen these, but I'm sure that you can find other round napkin rings at different places, okay? I'm going to take some sandpaper and rough this up a little bit. Now take one of your napkin rings and put some glue right around the rim. And put it right in the center. And now I'll reinforce the inside with hot glue. Okay, so this side is a little tricky. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put some glue around on this side of my ring. And now I'm going to flip this over and put this in the center as well. Press down. Now I have an idea of where it goes. I'm going to take some hot glue and put it just inside the circle. So I'll set that aside to let that set up. While it's setting up, I have this old sign from Dollar Tree. And as you can see, it's a Thanksgiving sign, but they have signs like this all the time. I'm sure that they have one probably beach themed right about now. This is something that's been in my stash for quite a while, and I want to go ahead and use it and get it out the way. Now, because of the raised letters, I want to go ahead and sand it off. Okay, so now I'm going to take this outside and spray paint it black. Once it dries, I'll come back and move on to the next step. Okay, back to our two solar lamps that we glued to the napkin ring. This is what we have. And it's already a look within itself, right? Okay, so here's our plaque. I spray painted it black. And now I kind of have a change of heart. Here's what it looks like with the black background. I'm going to glue it on there like that. But I think I want to do something a little bit different with it. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and glue this down to the base. And once that dries, I'm going to come back in and redo the surface. And I'm going to use some of my Gorilla Glue. Now I glue this right in the center. Now I'll allow the glue to set up. Okay guys, so back to our double lights. Again, this is how we will hang it. Now honestly, you could do it this way too. That would be a cute option, okay? I have some of this mirror adhesive paper and I want to go ahead and put some all the way around it. So I'm going to go ahead and measure and cut. Now I'm just going to lay it up against here and put it on. Do the other 3 sides off camera and then come back. Okay, I'm done adding the mirror all the way around. I'll remove the blue film after I'm done doing my next step. Okay, initially I wanted to leave this black, but now I want to texturize it and paint it white. I change my mind sometimes, so I'm going to use some of my Dollar Tree caulk. Put some in here. I have a popsicle stick, and I'm just going to dip it right into the caulk and just put it on here. And then after it dries, I'm going to paint it white. Again, I'm going to allow this to dry, and then I'll come back in and then go over it with some white paint and then remove the blue covers over the mirror. Okay guys, I'm back. My caulk has completely dried. So now I'm going to use some of this Dollar Tree acrylic paint to paint it. So I'll let this dry and then do 2 more coats. Once that's dry, I'll go ahead and pull off this blue protective film. I went ahead and put everything back together. So now I'm just going to go ahead and pull off this blue film. Look how pretty that looks. So now I hang it on the wall and let you guys see what it looks like. Okay guys, so moving on to the next DIY. I'm not going to show you the solar lights just yet because there are different solar lights that you can use with this particular DIY. So I'm just going to show you how I build this, okay? You'll need this 12-inch chunky slack from Dollar Tree. I'll leave the SKU, the list of items used, and links where I can in the description. Next up we have this particular slack. This one is, it's just called craft wood. Not sure how long it is, but maybe it's about 18 inches, but these are the longer ones, and I'll leave the SKU to this as well. So you'll need 2 of these. This is from Dollar Tree as well, and as you can see, I paid $5 for it. And then we are going to need some tower blocks, some wood glue, and then I also have some wood screws that I bring over later. I have this hook that I'll be using, but the first thing I want to do is go ahead and remove these stickers. So let's get started. Again, we're going to use some tower blocks. So the first thing I want to do is take 2 tower blocks. These are about the width of this stick, okay? Take some wood glue. I'm going to line these 2 pieces up. Then take one of my blocks and glue it right in the center, maybe about here. And I'm just going to set a block on each end just to help hold it in place while the glue sets up. Okay, so now with this stick, I want to screw this right in the center. Just like so, okay? So what I'm going to do is allow this to set up for a few minutes, Then I'll come back and move on to the next step. Okay guys, I'm back and here are my two longer pieces of wood. So what I want to do now is I'm going to put this right in the center of this plaque, but I'm going to angle it backwards like this. Now, if I had a saw, I would cut this to make it flat, but I don't. I'm going to angle this back, and then I'm going to put this piece here between the two pieces of wood like this, okay? But I want it to be angled high. I'm going to have to readjust the camera so you can see it. So what I'm going to do is take one of my blocks and put it under here to make it lean backwards and get an idea of how I want this. Okay. This is how I want this piece to be. We're going to come back to the base, but for now we are going to work on this piece. I have this angled like this, so I'm going to go ahead and add some wood glue to these pieces. And then on this side as well. Okay, again, I'm going to put this here, like so. I'm going to put this kettlebell right here for weight to hold this down while it glues. Once it glues, I'm going to reinforce it with a screw. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry for a while and then we'll come back. Okay guys, so back to our piece. I'm going to go ahead and move our bell out the way. It's holding together pretty good, but I want to reinforce it with a wood screw. And I have these construction wood screws, but they are a little bit too long, just slightly too long. I'm going to add this bead to it to make it a better fit, and it's going to add a decorative element as well. I have my drill, and I'm just going to drill a hole. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of wood glue there. I'm going to take my screw and put it through my wood bead. Do the same thing on this side. One of my beads are up a little bit higher than the other one, and that's because of the length of the screw. I couldn't make it meet in the center, okay? Now I'm going to put my piece right on top of here. I need to figure out exactly where I want it to go. About there. So I'm going to put this here. Going to take another block, put some more glue on it. Put that right in the middle. And now I'm going to take another wood block and put it right here where these two pieces meet. I'm going to measure. So now I'll allow this to set up for a while, and then we'll come back and move on to the next step. Okay guys, so I'm back and this piece has completely set up. Kind of looks like a nose, right? Alright, so let's go ahead and glue our top piece on. Again, I'm going to put this at an angle. So I'm going to add some glue right here on the sides. Alright, so I'm going to put this here to help hold this in place. Now I'm going to put some glue on both of these blocks. Now you have to find something really tall and lean it up against it while this sets up. Once it's stabilized like this, you can add one block to each side right here. This is to give it even more strength. Now we slide this one under this base. It's going to go in at an angle. It's not going to really go in flush. If you push it all the way in flat, then it's going to pull this forward. I don't want it to come any more forward than what it is now. And now just clean up the excess glue. Okay, so now I will allow this to set up and then we'll come back. Okay guys, I'm back and it has been about 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. This is pretty sturdy now. So what I want to do now is go ahead and stabilize the base even more. While I'm stabilizing it, I'm going to make it more decorative. So I'm going to add some more of my blocks. And put this block right into that slot. And now I'll go ahead and reinforce the back with some tape. Maybe one here in the back. Okay, so I'm just going to allow this to dry and then return. Okay guys, I'm back. So now I'll go ahead and remove the tape. Everything should be pretty sturdy right now. And this is what we have on our base. Makes it look a little bit more interesting. This is what it looks like in the back. And it's on there tight. Look at that. It's not going to move. It's perfect. So I have a couple of beads left. Yeah, I'm just going to glue one on each side just to make it match the top. Okay, so now I will allow this to dry and then I'm going to put it on display and let you see what it looks like. And for my final DIY, I found these other crackled glass solar lights. To make our chandelier, I'll be using one of these Dollar Tree hanging baskets. And I also have this leafy vine that I found at Michael's. You can also find these at Dollar Tree. I have these zip ties, but you can also use some choice ties. I cut the vines in sections and then attached them to my basket with the zip ties. Okay, so I'm going to continue to go all the way around and then come back. Okay guys, I'm back and this is what I have. Now I ran out of vines, so I'm going to go back to Michael's and get some more. If I see it at Dollar Tree, then I'll get some at Dollar Tree. But yeah, you're going to need at least 2 if you want to make it really full, like on this side. So what I want to do next is, I have another one of these solar lights. I've already pulled a little tab. Initially, I was going to use one of these for the top. It's not that easy to glue it down, so I'm going to use this one because this base is wider. It's going to be easier to glue that down. So I'm going to take some hot glue and just add some glue wherever I see a connection. To reinforce it, I think I'm going to take some rope and put it around there as well. So let me get the rope and then come back. Here's the rope that I have. So I'm just going to hot glue it around here, and that's going to reinforce the lights. Okay, so as you can see, that makes it sturdy, okay? And now I'm going to wrap some around the bottom of this. And now I'm gonna put some right here and get it started. And now I'm just going to take the rope and wrap it around. Okay guys, I'm back. So in the midst of me creating my masterpiece, the battery died. So I went ahead and just added 3 of my bulbs on here to show you what it's going to look like. Now, before I do the rest, let me address this thing. Now, okay, there we go. That's what I want to address. These pop right off so easily. And again, these are glass, and it has a nice weight to it, a really good weight, quality weight to it. So what I want to do with these is go ahead and attach these. And then like this one, I've already added some hot glue, and that's going to secure it. Now, if you ever need to replace this part, then you can easily just pop this glue off easily, okay? But it's on there well enough to hold this. And the reason I put the rope around it is to help hold this so it don't move so much. Had I not, it would just slide around, you know? So you can put the rope as tight as you want it or as loose. First thing to do is just to put it on there. And then slide this thing until you find a hole. There it is. And then put it back in place. Okay. Actually, the hole is not that deep. Maybe you can make the hole deeper and then squeeze this tighter. That would help. Now just use the hot glue to seal around that opening. And then do the other side as well. And then just go on to the next one and do the same thing. These holes aren't drilled properly. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my drill and then come back. Now let's try it. Oh yeah, that's much better. It still moves. Maybe we can make it a little tighter by squeezing it in. Yeah, let's do that, y'all. Let's drill that hole if we can and make it tighter. Okay, there we go. Okay guys, so let me show you again. The easiest way to do it, honestly, is just to leave everything together and then just take your drill. And don't go too deep if you can help it. Just go in like that. And then just go to the other side. Again, take your little hook, squeeze it in, and then it on here, and then it's like that. It's really secure now. So maybe you won't even need to add the glue because of how high my porch ceiling is. I'm going to secure it even more with the glue, and it's going to be quite heavy. Now another thing I was thinking, sometimes these solar lights act up, but hopefully these don't. If they do, you could always put string lights on the inside. You want to go ahead and put your light right in the center. Right there on each one. And once you do, this is what you have. Isn't that cute? Look at that. It's a gorgeous chandelier for outside, or even for your porch. Like if you have a screen-in porch, it's really pretty. I know you can't see the whole thing, but I'm going to hang it up and then let you guys see what it looks like.